going on, guys? It's n.aazir, and in today's video we're going to be going over 5 essential shoes everyone should have in their shoe collection. Now the reason I'm making this video is because you should at least have 5 different types of shoes for 5 different occasions in your collection. I know a lot of people have that one pair of shoes that they wear for everything, especially them people with them black forces. We see y'all. But you should really have a pair of shoes for every different type of occasion. That way, your shoes will not only last a bit longer, but you'll also have the appropriate shoe for every type of occasion. And not only are they different types of shoes, they're also different categories of shoes. So one of the categories, for example, will be hype, which we will get to later in this video. But I just wanted to give an example of the shoes that I will be showing you and the types of categories and shoe types that we'll be going over. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now the first shoe we'll be going over that anyone needs in their collection is the universal shoe. Now the universal shoe will be the shoe that probably goes with any outfit depending on the color of the shoe. And it's probably also the shoe that gets worn the most. So for some people, like I said in the intro, it'd probably be black forces. Cause you know, like black forces can go with any outfit and they black, so you can't really tell if they get stained or not and things like that. But my example will actually be the Reebok Classic. The reason I have this one is because it's just a black and white shoe, but my step up from just a regular universal shoe is it features suede, nylon, and leather. Now this is a shoe that I can wear all the time. It's a shoe that sometimes if I really need to just run out and grab something, I'll gravitate towards these before I grab any other shoe in my collection. So without further ado, let's get into the next shoe. Now the next shoe everyone should have in their collection is the staple shoe. Now the example of a staple shoe is a shoe that is a verified classic that everyone has owned at some point in their life. For example, it might be an Air Force One, it might be a pair of Vans, or my example right here is the Stan Smith. Now this is a classic colorway of the Stan Smith. I just had to be extra and above and beyond, and my pair actually has Velcro straps instead of laces. And before y'all even say anything, no, this is not the orthopedic version of a Stan Smith. It's actually mimicked after the Raf Simons that also feature this Velcro strapping. But I say that everyone should have a staple shoe in their collection, not only because of how they look, but also because it's a shoe that, you know, a lot of people are gonna know, and if you're not really into shoes and stuff like that, it's still a really great shoe to have. It's a shoe that will last you a long period of time because a lot of shoes like this have lasted throughout ages. Like these joints is basically like the dinosaurs, the sneakers and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into the next shoe. Now the next shoe we'll be talking about is the crazy shoe. Now just for reference, crazy can be any type of shoe that you decide, or whatever shoe would seem crazy to you. What's crazy to you might not even be that crazy to somebody else. But for today's example, I actually have my pair of Nike Dunk Highs with this crazy material on it. So on the toe we have the nice suede with the leather toe box, and then you get here and we have like a tumbled leather, and then you get here and it's like a reptile snake skin. Like this is probably snatched like right off the snake's back. And then on the back you also have this weird horse hair. Like this joint low-key look like it's some horse weave. But it's also crazy because of the bright orange. Now when I wear this shoe, it breaks a lot of people's necks just because it's not a color that you really see on the shoe that often. And some people low-key be thinking that I'd be wearing traffic cones on my feet. But the color is so crazy, and just the attention to detail and stuff on these is so crazy that this would be my crazy shoe. So without further ado, let's get into the next shoe. Now the next shoe we're gonna have is the hype shoe. Now my definition of hype when it comes to sneakers and stuff like that is it's a shoe that is usually sought after by everybody. So not really a shoe that is most of the time like out of reach, like a Yeezy or Off-White. It could be something like a regular pair of like Bread Jordan 1s, or like a red pair of Air Max 1s or something like that. But my hype shoe is actually the Mars Jordan 4. Now this shoe is sought after by a lot of people if they actually know about it, but to the regular eye it just looks like a fire red 4. But for the people that follow the story of things like Jordan and things like that, this Mars Jordan 4 is a very iconic shoe as far as representing Jordan brand and the actor who played Mars Blackman, Spike Lee. So this would be my hype shoe, but to a lot of people, a shoe that would be heavily sought after is like a Yeezy or Off-White or like a Fair God or something like that. But this is my definition of hype right here. So without further ado, let's get into the next shoe. Now the next shoe I will be talking about is a shoe for a fancy outing. Most of the time, this will not really be a sneaker. It'll most of the time be like a Chelsea boot or something like that. But in those rare occasions, it could just be a more fancier sneaker. So for example, I have my Van Skate High here, which low-key looks like a Chelsea boot. If someone's watching from like the other side of the street, they might just think it's a pair of Chelsea boots, but it's actually a pair of Vans. And that's mostly because of the more premium materials used on this shoe. Now, this shoe is actually made of a vachetta tan, which is a very, very distinct leather. Most of the time you'll see it on like a Louis Vuitton bag handle or something like that. So it's more of a more plush, more premium material versus just a regular pair of like tumble leather or something like that, which gives this shoe a bit more of a formal look to it versus just a regular pair of Vans that you probably wear down the street and just like thrash through them. So another example that someone would probably wear is just any shoe that has a more premium leather and has a bit of a cleaner look versus a just regular sneaker. So like any shoe that usually just has a solid tan color or like a green or a black or a gray or anything like that will usually be a shoe that you can wear in those bit more fancier outings versus just wearing it like casually. Like this is not really a shoe that I wear casually. Like this is a shoe that like that one fancy outing where you want to go out and you just want to step out a little bit differently than just wearing a pair of like Jordan 1s or something like that. Like you throw these on and you just wear a flannel and boom, you got like the Jerry Lorenzo like Fair God look, and you looking all fancy and fresh with a fresh cut on a Friday just to go to the movies for no reason. So this is that type of shoe. And without further ado, let's get to outro. Now that is it for today's video. If there is a category of shoe that you think I probably missed, mention it down below in the comments. If you also have these 5 different types of shoes in your collection, comment 5 or the hand emoji down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.